Okay, guys, today, inshallah, we're gonna start in the new section. We're gonna talk about the types of interaction among living organisms. Okay, so as we studied in the first two sections, okay, in that chapter, we studied how ecologists they are studying the environment and how they divide the environment scale into smaller parts or smaller regions, starting from biosphere, then ecosystems, communities, populations, and so on. Then we passed that in that ecosystem, living organisms and non-living organisms, they are depend on non-living things. They are dependent on each other just to obtain energy and matter. And we find that the energy flow from the sun to producers, then from producers to consumers, and so on. So like that, okay, or that's lead us to start to think what the kind of interaction that could happen between living organisms and why they interact, how they interact. All these questions we need to know, okay, or we need to answer. So in the beginning, guys, I'm gonna just ask you a question, okay? So look with me here carefully. We start. Just make a list of predators that are also free. Okay. So everyone in the chat box, you're gonna just need you to write three predators that they also could be prey. That means they could eat animals and at the same time they could be eaten by other animals. So I'm waiting. In your chat box, start to write, guys. Okay. Everyone, hurry up.
Mr. Private or to everyone?
No, not everyone.
Okay.
Mr. What is the question again?
Again, make a list of three animals that they consider to be predators and in same times prey. That means they could eat other animals and be eaten by other animals. Let's see here, guys. Hurry up. Let's see your answers.
Mr. Are insects considered part of the animals?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Anything
thank
is
you.
not plant, so it's animal.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Mihad say deer, and Abdurrahman Khalid say chicken. They are predators. Deer is a predator, that means it could feed on another animal. Actually, frog is considered as a predator because it could feed on insects, so it's considered as a predator. Okay, so lion and fox. Actually, lion and fox are they could be eaten by other animal. Who gonna eat a lion? Guys, pay attention to the snake. Is good. Also, snake. Snake is a predator because it could eat some rodents or something like that, and could be eaten by vultures or some kinds of hawks, owls, and so on. So fish could serve because kind of fish they feed on a smaller fish or they feed on some zooplanktons and they could be eaten by larger fish or even other animal creatures. So like this zebra, duplina. Zebra is a predator. Predator that means the animal who could hunt. Okay, kill other animals. Okay. So what do you think? Spider. Okay. Lion again. How hook is gonna eat? Okay, female lion. Why especially female lion? Okay. So what are the difference between female or male lions? Both they have the same way of eating. Yeah. Okay. Pear. So guys, who can tell me what's gonna eat a pear? Okay. So lizard is okay. Lizards feed on insects and they can be eaten by others. So just mouse. Okay. Cheetah. Hafela, just pay attention. Okay. We don't just say names of animals. Okay. We ask for a predator that could be a prey. The same predator could be a prey. Not just give examples for prey and predators. Okay, guys, do you understand the
No, I'm
question?
not giving example. Yeah,
Is it clear?
this animal.
Hafela, cheetah or lion? How it could be a prey? Who's gonna eat a cheetah? What the animal that could hunt and kill a cheetah or kill a lion?
No, I mean the cheetah, that animal that hunt.
I know the question is not like this, guys. Listen to me. We said the question, as you can see in the screen, I asked to mention three animals that they could be predators and in same time they could be free for other predators. The same animal. So some of them sell good things. Okay, some they said rabbit is rabbit. How rabbit is predator. What's rabbit gonna hunt? Okay, some of you they say okay cats. Okay, some say lizards, frogs. Okay, so all these they are okay. They could eat. Okay, some snakes also good. Okay, but actually you fish brilliant. Okay, so don't think
Mister,
about. Yep. Yes, Hafila.
well, you mean to ride the animals that can be hunted?
Yeah, can be hunt and in same time can be hunted. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So like that, like this, okay, we just need to mention there is something called the apicus predator. Apicus predator, that means the predator which in the okay the food chain, because actually the apicus predator that means it's a high predator that cannot be hunted or that cannot be killed by another predator. Okay, so like this we said that lines and like this. Okay, so here buffalo could okay Hafila, please pay attention to me. Could you tell me how the buffalo are gonna hunt? What buffalo hunts? It hunts what?
No, it doesn't hunt, but it could be hunted.
Yeah. Do you understand my words, Philip? Do you understand what I'm
Yes.
saying? I said I need the same animal that could hunt and in same time it could be hunted. For example, we said, for example, the frog. The frog could hunt some insects or even some frogs. They could eat mice and something like that. So that means it's a predator. It could feed on other animals. In same time, this frog could be hunted by snake, for example. So like this, I could describe this frog as a predator in the first situation, but as a prey in the second situation. Is it
Oh,
clear?
okay.
Okay, not
Yes.
just give examples for prey and predators. Okay, guys. So is it clear the idea here? The idea which I need just to get from that activity or that kind of question that represent, okay
Yes.
guys, okay, that we need to present that not all living organisms, okay, concern or they just follow one manner, okay, or they just found in one place in the food chain. They could be in different places. Some animals they consider to be predators and preys in the same time. So as they obtain food and the energy from animals, they could offer or they could provide food and energy for the others. So here that represent a kind of complicated interaction among living organisms. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
So
Yes.
actually here, okay, we have another question. Okay, look with me carefully. Okay, for the question that I'm gonna write for you and tell me what's your opinion. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you, what are the factors that could affect the population size? Okay, so let's hear like the question. What are factors that could affect the population size? Okay, guys. So I need you also to write your answers in the chat box. Okay, then we're gonna discuss. So just you have about 2 minutes. Hurry up. I'm waiting for your answers. So good one. Okay, so actually Uta mentioned something. So Adham say climate. Uta say natural disasters. Hanahani say food. Good. Okay, Mehad just mentioned one of the global warming. You can say the climate, change in climate. Yes, Mehad?
Yes.
Okay. Geographic features. What do you mean by the geographic features?
Yeah, terrain, mountains, valleys,
So
rivers.
how that's mean? Okay, okay. Do you mean the habitat overall? Yep.
Mm,
Okay. So good. What else? Human interference. Okay. Yes. Okay. So good one. Hannah said a size of a place that they live in, which means the space, how much space is provided. Okay. So birth and death rate. So actually, we're gonna just write this one on birth and death rate. Okay, that's Farah said. It's brilliant word. Okay, because we're gonna have a lot of discussion about it. Okay, immigration is feel actually quite a brilliant word. Immigration. So immigration actually could affect the population size. So brilliant here, guys. Okay, so let's just so actually we're gonna find there are some factors. Okay, I'm gonna just list some points. Okay, we said food. Okay, uh, climate. Then we said that space, the amount. Okay, the amount. Okay, some others they say what do you say for example? Predation. Good. Okay. What else? Let's see here. Climate, the natural disasters. Okay, so natural disasters. So we're gonna list most of what you said. Soil, birth, and okay, immigration and also birth and death rate. Okay, so here, guys, that's the most common words you said. So we're gonna discuss about that. Okay, and let's find here. So food, climate, space, predation, natural disasters, immigration, and birth and death rates. So my question: imagine to me, or let's find here. Once okay, the population, they are living population or individual population, they are gonna produce and increase in number, and then they keep increasing in number. My question is, do this population will keep increasing in number forever? What do you think, guys?
No.
No.
They have to
No.
be something wrong.
So that at certain point, okay, what would happen? Yes, if you know, just raise your hand, guys. Yes, Uto.
They could be eaten by predators, or they could die from natural disasters, or
No,
uh,
I'm not asking like this. Okay, I'm gonna ask that imagine that we are in balanced ecosystem, and in that balanced ecosystem, the number of or the population size keep increasing. They produce new individuals, and they keep increasing. My question: do they will be able to keep okay increasing forever?
no.
No. Why?
Some of them will start starving because they will not find enough food
So
resources.
good. So as they increase in number, okay, there are some factors will limit the size of the population because as they increase, the resources somehow is gonna be limited, and once the resources are limited, they are gonna start to fight, okay, struggling for existence, and they're gonna fight. Some of them will die, and some will. Okay. Also, once they increase a lot, okay, like that, wastes will accumulate, so that will cause a lot of diseases to start to okay spread between them, causing some of them to die. Also, once the number increase that much, okay, the available space which provided for them that is not enough. So also they are gonna fight for shelter and so on. So that's the first part that we believe that there are some factors, okay, they have direct contest. For example, food, climate, space, predation, immigration, all these, they are some kinds of direct factors that could affect the population size. Why natural disasters, for example, it's not that because natural disaster doesn't happen each day, or that's something, okay, because that's catastrophes, okay, that's happened like from one time to another. It's not, but it could affect, of course, the population size. But let's take another question here. Okay, are you ready, guys? Are you ready,
Yes.
guys?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
So imagine with me, guys, that we have that's area number one, okay, and that's area number two, okay. So this here, for example, let's say it's mm, let's call it this one that is tropical forest, for example, and that's, for example, let's say it's another kind of forest like deciduous forest, for example, or we're gonna say that okay, so another type of forest, okay, like deciduous forest, for example, okay, or let's say it's like okay, forest, another kind of forest. Let's make it easier. Different forest. And we have the same species, okay, in both forests, okay. Like for example here, a rabbit, okay, that species. This rabbit exactly the same like this rabbit, okay, or this population of rabbits, okay, exactly the same population. Both they could live in both, okay, environments, okay, in these two different types of forest. What do you think, guys? Okay, the population size in the first, okay, in the first tropical forest A will be the same population size in B on the other type of the forest. Okay, so I'm waiting for your answer in the chat box. Tell me yes or not. Okay, so no. Hana Yasser, Mihad Shaban also no. No. Yusuf Hafela, okay. Ahmad Uta saying no. Hana Hani saying no. Yes or no. Lena Adam says so. I think most of you are gonna say no. So anyone gonna say yes? Okay, so all of you saying no. So we're gonna ask you a question, guys. Why? Why you think that the population size of rabbit, okay, in tropical forest will be different than, or will not be the same population size like in first, okay, in B. So what we call this, okay, or why? Yes, Hana Yasser?
For example, in that different forest, there are wolves, but in the tropical forest, like there lives no wolves or foxes because it's not the right habitat for it. So there will be more rabbits than in the other forest, or there will be less rabbits in the tropical forest because there is less food than the other different forests. There are lots of factors.
So good, okay, that's a good point. What else, Janaguda? Why they have different population size?
Maybe the the source of food is less in one forest than the other.
Good. Okay. So, like this, Hanas are saying that maybe one have more predation than the other, and you saying the source food, okay, may or the food resources, okay, may be limited in one forest than the other, okay, and so on. You can find a lot of reasons with like the factors which we talked about. So finally, you can simplify because they are two different environments, two different habitats. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as they
Yes.
are two different habitats, okay, that lead us to a new definition, which is very, very important, which is carrying capacity. So what is a carrying capacity, guys? That's the term which we are need to know. What is carrying capacity? And also we need to know what are limiting factors, okay? So these two words or these two terms are very important to know what they are. Carrying capacity, limiting factors. So to be able to answer this question, let's watch the following video. Then we are gonna gather the question for this. What are the limiting factors and what is the carrying capacity? Okay, let's start. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yes.
okay, guys, what do you think? Okay, you got the meaning, okay, or what the meaning of the carrying capacity, guys? Okay, who can tell me
Yes.
what's meant by carrying capacity? Who can tell me? Raise your hand, guys. Okay. Yes, Abdurrahman Khalid.
The carrying capacity is the maximum number of population that a place can carry.
Yeah, so that's okay. So it's the maximum number of population that is supported by environment or by place, okay, or an ecosystem, okay. So that the maximum that's supported by the environmental, okay, factors or that support, that mean each population have a certain size, okay, regarding to the available resources and regarding to the natural factors which is already found in that area. So which means that what limit or what control the carrying capacity of each environment, what we call the factors that Yasmi had.
Food and space.
Food, space, okay. What else?
and
Others, Adham?
water.
Food, space, water. What else, guys?
Climate.
Environment, that is a very elastic and large word, okay. We need to be specific. You see, water,
Climate.
climate, okay. Yes, okay. So climate, good. What else? Yes, Janaguda?
Yes.
Yes, you said that. Food, water, okay. Climate, and what else?
Disease.
Diseases, good, okay. So what else? Let's find another one. Yes, Noor?
Shelter.
Shelter, brilliant, okay. So Farah Mahlab? Yes, Farah? I can't hear you. Your mic is working, but actually I can't hear. You can write in the chat.
Predation.
Predation, good. So all these factors, okay, predation, disease, space, shelter, food, war, climate, okay. So all these, okay, factors, we call them, what we call these factors? What we call them? All of them we just could say. Yes, Uta? What we call them? Yes, I'm hearing what we call all these factors which just control the number or the size of a population, we call it. Okay, so we had
Limiting factors.
limiting factors. Okay, so limiting factor, or we could find that limiting factor. So limiting factors that represent, okay, the different factors and different conditions which just control the number of population. So any hard question here, guys? Okay, so like this, we already know what the meaning by carrying capacity and what are the limiting factors. So any hard question regarding to this point, guys? Any hard question?
No.
Then we're gonna pass to the second objective here, or the second, okay, goal. What are the two types of competition? My question is, what the meaning of competition? What do you think? What is competition, guys? Okay, so write in the chat box. Hurry up. So what is competition, guys? In your own words, what do you think? You're right, right. Okay. On chat box, guys, everyone could share. So, yep.
Can you see
Okay.
the
So
word again?
Again, what is competition? Okay. So Janaguda, competition for shelter. Okay, I need to know what the meaning of competition, not what they compete for. What is a competition? Okay, so fighting, good. Hannah Yasser say it's fight. Brilliant. Okay. So do you agree with Hannah words that competitions means kind of fighting between animals or between living organisms? Yes. Okay. So actually, it's kind of competition. It means a kind of fight. Yes, they are fighting. Okay. So they are fighting. So what do you think? Why they should fight or when they fight? Okay. So you can write your answer. Okay, guys, I'm waiting. Type. Let's gather here. Why do living organisms compete or fight? So for food, shelter, good. So when the options is limited, good words, but instead of options, we can say when the resources is limited. That would be better. Good. Okay. Yes, good. Good words, guys. Mate. Also, they fight for mate. Good. Okay. So actually brilliant. So here we said that competition, it's a kind of fight between living organisms when they are have limiting resources like food, shelter, mate, and so on. Good. They try to fight, they fight to survive. Brilliant. Actually, brilliant words. You are brilliant, guys. So here, all the words you send is brilliant. Okay. So like this, you know. But my question, what do you think the competition is gonna be, okay, between the individuals of the same population or between different populations, guys? What do you think? Okay, so let's see here. Same Mehad say both. So Mahi said between the same individuals of the same population, okay? And Hana Yasser say both same. So we could understand that it could be a kind of competition between the individuals of the same population, okay? So because maybe are fighting for the food, they may be fighting for the mate, okay? We got this. So that's they try to control their number, as the example which you will watch in the video, that's the bears, okay? How once the number of the bears exceed the carrying capacity, so the adult bears start to kick the young bears out, or some bears they could just keep moving away, searching for another place to find food and so on. That's good. But my question here, okay, when different populations gonna compete? Okay, so let's listen to Adham. Okay, okay, yes, Adham. When
Mr.
different
Sheikh,
when different organisms or when different populations gonna compete?
they compete when there are limited resources.
So
Like,
actually, for example, could lions and zebra compete together?
no, because lions
No.
will eat zebras على طول.
So now, not like this. I'm gonna ask: could, for example, zebras and grasshoppers, or zebras and let's take another example. For example, zebras and what we could say frogs. Okay, could they fight?
No,
No.
No. Why?
No.
Why zebra and frogs they cannot fight or compete?
because they eat different.
Yes, so that the question, why when different populations, okay, they fight when they are sharing the same resources. They depend on the same resource. That means
resource.
they need the same food, or they live in the same kind of shelter, or they are in the same space. So they must sharing one of the resources that they are gonna compete for. Okay, but
Like
actually, if
fish.
we, yeah, but actually maybe we have two different populations that they are not sharing the same resources, so they will never compete, even each population their size increasing, okay, so
Mm.
they will not affect each other. But the kind, so that means we have two types of competition among individuals of the same species, and competition between different species or different populations which share the same resources. So we call these the inter competition. That means here it's kind of competition between different populations, and intra competition, that is a competition that happens between individuals of the same species. Okay, is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So like this, okay, that's represent, or competition represent the first kind of interaction that could happen between living organisms. Okay. We're gonna continue talking about more in more details, and we are gonna describe more types of interaction next time. So any hard question regarding to the today's lesson, guys?
No.
No.
Is there anything is not clear?
No.
Okay, so I hope next time, okay, that I'm gonna find new questions, okay, and then we're gonna keep working, okay, to know the different types of interactions between living organisms. Thank you guys, and goodbye.